is the story of the cracked pot. Long ago in India, there was a water carrier who every day went to a stream not far from his master's house. There, he filled 2 large clay pots with water, scooping the water from the stream. Then he hung each pot on one end of a long pole, which he then balanced on his shoulders. In this way, he was able to carry the water up the hill and into the streets, along the streets to his master's house, where he delivered the water for the master's use during that day. Now, one of the pots was perfect and always delivered a full measure of water. The other pot was flawed. It had a small crack in one side, through which the water seeped, drip, 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 so that when the water carrier brought the pots to his master's house, the cracked pot was always only half full. Now the perfect pot was proud and boasted of its abilities, but the cracked pot was embarrassed. It was ashamed that for all the effort of the water carrier, the cracked pot could only deliver half a measure of water. Day after day, the cracked pot suffered, knowing of its imperfection and of its effect on the hard-working water carrier. Finally, one day, 2 years later, the cracked pot could be silent no more. It spoke to the water carrier. "Oh, I am so embarrassed. I am ashamed that you work so hard," said the cracked pot. "And I can only offer you half a pot of water every day. I am ashamed of my flaw." "There is nothing for you to be ashamed of," said the water carrier. "Today, as we travel up the hill and along the streets to my master's house, I want you to notice the sides of the road." And so the water carrier filled the pots as usual, hung them on the ends of the long pole, and balanced the pole over his shoulders. Up the hill he walked. "Now look," he said to the cracked pot. "You see, this is the side over which the perfect pot hangs. The road is dry and dusty here. But on the other side, over which you hang, grow lush amounts of brightly colored flowers." "The flowers are beautiful," said the cracked pot sadly, "but what have they to do with me?" "Everything," said the water carrier. "I have known of your flaw from the beginning, and I have always taken advantage of it. I have sown flower seeds along your side of the road, so that as the water drips from your crack in your side, the water nourishes these flowers. And so together, you and I create this beauty that everyone who walks this way can enjoy. And in fact, my master too benefits from this beauty, for I often gather bouquets of flowers to arrange around the rooms of his house. And so you see, you have nothing to be ashamed of. Your flaw makes you unique and powerful." And that is the story of the cracked pot.